What's up, everybody? So we're back out in the shop with another daily vlog, and guys, it's time to go ahead and put an edge on this knife. As you can see here, we went ahead and got our maker's mark put on it, but it is time to go ahead and take this beautiful, beautiful knife. Let's put an edge on it, and let's chop up some stuff. Before we do that, just check out this handle scale setup here. I really think that this turned out absolutely awesome. But yes, time to put an edge on this. We're going to go ahead, hop on the 1x30, get that knocked out, and then I haven't exactly decided what I'm going to chop yet, but yeah, we're going to chop some stuff. We'll probably chop some stuff, slice some stuff, do a bunch of different things like that, but I am excited about using this knife. Let's get into it. Let's get it knocked out. Alright, so when it comes to sharpening, you'll see me do this in a few videos, but on my 1x30, I like to start with the 600 grit belt. I like to go against the rotation of the belt just to cut in that initial secondary bevel and get it to where I want it. And then once we do that, we start going with the rotation of the belt, but we take the longest amount of time just cutting in that secondary bevel. The other three belts are just there to refine the edge and start creating a burr and refining the burr. So like this, we're using an 800 grit belt, and we're going to go with the rotation of it. I just have better results going with the rotation of the belt on these particular higher grit belts. And I'll tell you, the big thing to focus on here is just keeping a nice consistent motion as you're going through it. You're not trying to put a ton of pressure on the belt. You're just putting enough pressure to work that edge. That way you don't put any waves in it. Of course, the grit we were using right there was 1000 grit. And now it's time to go onto the leather stropping belt. We just do a few passes on this just to really smooth out that edge after we got that burr nice and defined. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and try the paper towel roll slicing and see how it goes. Yeah, I think that worked. I feel like that works. I feel like that's plenty sharp to be able to do that. Water bottle. I don't know if y'all saw that, but I went straight through it and the bottle didn't even move as I cut all the way through the base of it. That is insane. It was like there was no water bottle there. I didn't feel any resistance whenever I cut through this. My hand just went straight through it. That is absolutely, that is crazy. Hold on. I'm gonna try and cut through it again with it upside down like this. This is with the label on and all that. That Comes with it upside down, already cut. It's a little sharp. Went straight through the label, straight through the bottle, everything. That is insane. Alright, I'm not really going to go too crazy on this with this because I don't want to end up messing up the finish on the knife. And whenever you just go hardcore on one of these with the acid etch knife, you can really mess with the finish. But I still want to show y'all that it can chop wood because of what the knife is meant for. You know, it's meant to be able to take out camping and hunting and do things like that, and do pretty much everything you need it to do. So on the odd chance that you needed to chop some wood or do something like that, you can with this. And then not have any issue with then going back, and if you randomly wanted to shave your face afterwards, you could. So just make that even. So if you needed to, you could. Does not have any issue chopping wood and then still being razor sharp. So there you go. Alright guys, let's go ahead and wrap up today's daily vlog, and I'm going to let y'all know that the end of this is going to be a little bit longer, probably about 4 or 5 minutes, because I'm going to talk about a few things that are going to actually benefit y'all. For one, let's just talk about the knife. So this is where we're at. Of course, we got that awesome handle scales. I love the way this turned out with that line running through it. I didn't know what it was going to look like whenever I started out to do it. I just hoped that it worked out, and of course it did. Then we got our hammer finish with our acid etch and stone wash on the bevels. Then on the spine, I do have it currently polished. The spine and the belly of the handle is fully polished. I'm going to talk about that here in a second, but I love the way this turned out. Love the way it feels in the hand. It's got a real good edge on it now, and I just love the way this overall package looks. When it comes to the acid etch on the spine, I've had a few people ask me, do you plan on acid etching the spine? You know, they would prefer it that way. Right now, I actually like the polish on it because it makes the handle scales really stand out. So I like having that solid line right there. Everything really stands out. You see the different layers as you're going through. If you were to acid etch this, it will actually kind of make the handle scales blend in to the knife, and I don't want that right now. If I do decide to acid etch it, it's as simple as taking a Q-tip, dipping it in the acid solution, and running it down the spine. Just doing that until we get the right darkness that we want. It's that simple. So it's not very hard. I can do it at any time, and if I decide to do that, I will show y'all in a video. Now, if you want to look at other videos, just look at my acid etching videos that I've done in the past. I've got plenty of knives where I've shown etching that spine. So if you want to see how it's done, you can watch those and check them out. Now, I'm super happy with how the handle scales turned out on this and the way they feel in the hand. So the way that I did this, that right there is the high point, and it's right in the middle of your palm. So whenever you go to grab this, it feels like you just have that good grip on it. The way that the swell is here, it's meant to just have a really good grip whenever you go to swing it, move it, do whatever you got to do, you can. And if you want to, with the way that I did the scales here, you could take your thumb, go up over here, and grip it like this, and that is not coming out of your hand. So if you need to come through and chop, you can. If, heaven forbid, you have to get into a knife fight, it ain't going nowhere. I mean, and then, of course, balance on it. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Right there. So, I mean, it's definitely exactly where I wanted it to be. And that's whenever I talk about making sure you lighten the handle tang enough to be able to put on your handle scales. And when you do your handle scales on there, after you've taken the material off the blade, you should have it weighted right there. If you want a well-balanced knife, some people will have the blade a little bit heavier than the handle, so whenever you go through things, the blade's pulling you through it. But you want to have a good forward motion and easy pullback, especially in survival modes and things like that. You want to be able to make the knife go where it needs to go, pull it back to reset. You want to be able to do those things. So that is how I try to design my knives, guys. What we're going to do in tomorrow's video is we're going to go ahead and we're going to make the Kydex press so that we can then make the Kydex sheath. So, new foam for the Kydex press. I want to go ahead and make that so that I can then, you know, have the first knife that I press in this press be this knife right here. I want to make a really cool Kydex sheath for it. And yes, this would look cool in a leather sheath, but I'm not at that point yet, so we're not going to do that just yet. I'm going to make a badass Kydex sheath for this. We're going to do that, and we are going to use this new press to do that. Guys, that's pretty much the end of this one. You know, if you would, give this video a thumbs up, share this video, or a video I've done in the past that might be your favorite. And if you haven't yet, bottom corner, hit that subscribe button so you get notified for when we make that press, then we make the sheath for this. And then we have then you get to see what we have coming up this week, which is cool thing. It's a very cool thing. I am doing a collab with a local podcast group. I'm going to teach 3 guys how to make a knife. So we're going to do that. Y'all be on the lookout for that. Guys, thank y'all for coming by. Thank y'all for spending your time with me. Y'all have an amazing day. I'll see y'all tomorrow.